I'm your subscribing on Instagram, your Our Skin, Our Story.
Yes, it is.
Yes, I want to say that it's so beautiful account.
Thank you very much.
Very
Thank
beautiful.
you.
But firstly, it is very benefit to people.
Yes, it is. I try to make an account like with a very simple information that everyone can understand it in Spanish and English, because in Mexico here, nobody talks about skin cancer. So that's what I try to do after my experience.
Yes, I have, I think you have a talent.
Oh, thank you.
Exactly. Yes. Here we share with our story about skin.
Yeah.
And please tell me about you, about your country.
Yes, well, here in Mexico, we have sun almost every day of the year. So it's in the city, you can have like both weathers in one day. You can have like a really cold weather with the sun, like here, like now in winter, and you can still have like rainy days and cloudy days. But at the end, sometimes the sun comes out. So we don't have like a specific times of the year, like in other countries that you have like summer, autumn, winter. You can feel it, but most of the time we have like sun here. And that's what I was concerned when I create the account, is because it's incredible that in some other countries where you have like cold weather, that normally in some winter days you don't see the sun at all. That doesn't mean UV exposure is not there, but that you don't see even the sun. And they have like all this consciousness about skin cancer. And here that we're more used to the sun, we haven't, or we don't have the consciousness of taking care of sunblock or wearing it every day. So that's what happens here in Mexico. There's not much information. Information if you go to Google, as I say, like the master of all information, you can find a lot. You can find a lot of information in Spanish or in other languages, but we don't have like exact numbers as they have in Canada, USA, Australia, or other more countries. So that's what I start seeing, like there wasn't much information when I tried to research for myself. And that's why I began this account. And nobody was, like I said before, talking about this problem. And now that I started the account, a lot of people has come to me to say to me like, you know what, I had this mole remove, or I had skin cancer, or my grandfather died about this, or all kinds of stories, but nobody talks about it.
Yes, really, I think it's the problem in whole world. Yeah, because in every country this problem. Yes. And what are you doing now? What is your profession?
I work in, I used to do before lobbying, as it's called. It's like making business relations between people and companies. We have like a different government now, so it's been a little bit more difficult. I still do all these connections between companies, people, products, and everything. But I started a new project for people that, immigrants that live, Mexican immigrants that live in the States. And now it's my project. Then Our Skin, Our Story start, and I couldn't believe that it was like a great, and it will take much of my time in this, but I'm glad I'm helping people. I receive all these messages of people thanking me for this account. So now I'm more engaged into it.
Yes, now it's your mission to help other people.
Yes, it has become now, like not just speaking about the story, like helping and being for people there and telling them that they're not alone at the end.
Yes. What is your story about skin?
Well, it started in 2016 when I saw a little, it wasn't a mole, it was a, no, it wasn't. It was like a kind of, how do you say it? Like a small, tiny pimple, for example, that it was, it didn't close. So it sometimes it bleed and sometimes it was very, very tiny. You couldn't even notice, like if you talk to me. But one day I wake up and I see all this blood in my pillow, and I said like, no, this is, maybe it was my nose. So I check and I said, no, it's not my nose. It was the well, the little thing I had it in my face. So then I went to the one of my friends that she's a doctor. She saw me and she said like, no, I don't like this. So you better go with the oncologist so so that he can take a look with for it. So I went with him, and after 15 days I was in my first surgery. It was a basal cell carcinoma, but it was like a very aggressive kind of carcinoma, because it is you can have different types of tumors. The easiest one to work with it is the nodular, that it's more like locally located, so they can open, and they just open like into the kinds of layers of the skin. But mine, it was more like tree roots. It can be spreaded. They have to open and open, and they will start seeing up to where they have to open. So I went into my first surgery in 2017. It was February 2017. It's incredible. You can still remember the dates, no? Like it was like yesterday. And then it was the 3rd of February. Then I went for the recovery and everything. And that same year, I noticed a very tiny scar near the scar. It wasn't a scar, but I can even say it was a mole. I don't know the name in English, but well, it was like a new thing that was near my scar.
It was quickly grow?
Well, it wasn't growing, but it appeared suddenly. And that's what I was like, no, this is not normal. You have to take a look. Now that I studied before all this, everything that comes out, and you don't see it like a very normal thing. So I said like, with this coming before, I better take a look. So I went and changed my whole medical team. I went to a new dermatologist, and he saw this and he said like, I believe it's the same thing. So he make a biopsy, and I had to be on surgery again. I changed my plastic surgeon, my oncologist and everything. So I'm very happy with my team now. They had to go again I went again into surgery on October. So the same year, 2 surgeries. So the reconstruction in my face was like very hard for my skin to handle it. So the second reconstruction, although it was the results were way much better than the first surgery, my skin was more damaged and more thin, because it hasn't had recover from the first surgery. So I went to this. So my recovery was like way much longer. But I was in good hands, and I trust the team. So I was happy with the results, even though it took way much longer. I had to go into the hyperbaric chamber like for 30 sessions or 25 sessions, something like that. So it was like a very tired recovering. And then, well, everything was fine. I continue with my life. And suddenly last year, when I was like really wishing it was the 3rd year and the residents like to go into get diagnosed again, it comes lower. They saw again, like in the same area, really? Also a small swollen thing that it was like bleeding again. Well, it wasn't bleeding, but it was like opening a little bit. So my dermatologist saw this and he said like, I have to take a biopsy, because with you, the little percentage not being something is like really strange. So he did the biopsy, and in 3 days we had the results. So it was again the basal cell carcinoma. And I went to my oncologist here, although I trust him a lot. I told him, like, I was very concerned about the reconstruction of my surgery. So my plastic surgeon now lives in Dallas, Texas. So I had to go there, and he find one of the best surgeons and specialized in oncologists of all these skin cancer problems. So I saw him at the Skin Cancer Center in Dallas. He was like great with me. All the team were like very warm, and I was a little bit concerned about that, because here in Mexico, like doctors and everything, they're closer, they're very like warming in hospitals and everything. And well, it was like a surprise, and the technique changed a little bit, because in US they don't put you to sleep at all. They just put like local things to get the bruise or the problem or the tumor out. Sorry, it's not a bruise, the mole or the tumor out. And here you go to sleep, and when you wake up, then you see like the results. Here you have to be like waking up, and all the hours starting like, okay, we have to open more, and we have to open more. So I went like from 9 o'clock to like 3:30 in the afternoon.
Wow.
And after this thing, the vessels went away, I had to go to the plastic surgeon and had my reconstruction the same day. So it was a very long day, a tired day, a very weary day. But well, I'm glad after all, I'm fine. I'm happy with the results. But it was a long process, like to be now talking about this.
Yes, and how it was affected on your life, and how your life was changed?
Well, especially it changed completely of my skincare routine. I was used before to take care a lot of my especially my face. I took care a lot of it. That's why I was like always with the doctors, and I was always, well, I cut it in, not at the ideal time, but it wasn't like the worst time, no, where it can become like really more aggressive than it was.
You had visited in dermatology, yes?
Yes.
For any beauty?
Well, before I was there just like to maintain my skin and hydration, and luckily I don't have like hyperpigmentation skin or anything. So I was like really happy with my dermatologist. But my mother, since we were kids, took us there like for checking all the moles and everything. I don't have too much moles. I have more like sun, how do you say it? I don't remember, like the little tiny sun things that go into your skin.
After
yes,
sun? Yes.
Freckles. Yeah.
Freckles, yes.
So I have a lot of freckles here in the chest because of the sun. So, well, we were always in the dermatologist, but definitely it changed, protecting my skin way much more, being much more awareness of anything that happens in my whole body, and to wear sunblock every day and reapply it like every 3-4 hours daily. So it completely changed also my view of seeing my skin tan, because here, as in many countries, we were used to see your skin like really beautiful with this glowing tiny color all over your body. But that was a very, how do you say it, tired and not difficult, but it was in my mind like a really long process to get used to see my skin white again. I even try a lot of self-tanning lotions and everything, but I watch them and I was like, oh, no, this is not like my regular tan. I miss it because all the skin looks better when it's tan. Not like really tan, but especially the body, not much the face, but the body tan, it looks beautiful. But now after these years, I've become like, it's easier for me. I'm not wearing that too much, even self-tanners or anything at all. It's like just coming into this process of knowing that you have to love your skin as it is, your colors as it is, and just taking care of it. Like I'm really being like very grateful now with my body, with my skin, and that changed completely because now I'm very aware that before maybe I didn't love it too much, you know. And now it's been a process, but it's a happy process.
Someone, your member, family member, have this problem, which you have.
You know, I didn't knew before, but now after all these years, like 3-4 years since 2017, a few months ago, like 8 months ago, now we know that my aunt, the sister of my father passed away quite a long. She's now having skin cancer things.
Oh, really?
So maybe that, I think it comes through this, but the doctors have already told me, like, even though skin cancer can go in all skin types, if you're darker or whiter, but my eyes, I have green eyes, and it's kind of a genetic problem. As I said, like it's a beautiful damage, genetic damage, but it's like the worst. It has a lot of problems, a lot of illness and everything. So they saying more like my eye color is part of the problem also.
What do you think? How important to share with stories about your skin with others?
For me, it's very important because people doesn't get like really much awareness of skin cancer, because normally we're more used to hear like he died of a lung cancer or she died of breast cancer.
Yes.
No, and talking about, so like he died because of a mole and melanoma is like, it's not that often to hear it, but people don't understand that sometimes what really come through the metastasis in their body was because of a mole.
And I think people can't imagine how you can diet about moles. I think it's fantastic.
Yes, they can. They don't understand it. Or sometimes people, as I was talking in a few, well, or in several lives I've made, it's some people go to the doctor, they take a mole remove, and they go back to their life and they take back again their tans, and they're still exposing themselves to the sun, and they don't make like the timeline of knowing that the thing with skin cancer is like, it's the only one that you can prevent, but at the same time, it's the only one that you will have forever in your life. As you get older, the skin damage that you have since you were a kid will come like coming out. So you have to be like very lucky and very lucky that the damage that you had taken since you were a kid doesn't come you after a few years when you're 50, 60, as people also were like very used to think like skin cancer, it was like an older issue, older people issues. And every day is getting more and more common in younger people. They told me like your case, it was like a very aggressive tumor, like for your age. I was 37 at that time, or 38. And they told me like this kind of tumor was real aggressive for your age. So, and it was a basal cell, and people don't even make the match that skin cancer starts with basal cell carcinomas. No, I even was talking to a friend and he said like, no, the doctor just told me like it was something that it wasn't right. And I said like, no, your doctor has to say the truth. If they take anything like a basal cell, it's a skin cancer. Although it's the beginning, it's a skin cancer. And that's the problem, that sometimes, that's what I was talking about. The information is not clear at all. Basal cell carcinoma, even though it's like the less aggressive, is the principle of skin cancer. And you have a skin cancer when you're diagnosed with basal cell carcinoma. You don't become a skin cancer patient until you get to melanoma. No, you have to realize that a skin cancer, a basal cell, is a skin cancer problem already. And people is not making these matches. Even some doctors doesn't talk with their patients, telling them like, you really have to take care of yourself. If I took a mole away from your skin, you have to be like really way much awareness, getting away from the sun. People don't understand also like, it's not that you're not going to see the sun again. It's like you're not going to get tans again. But sun is part of our daily life. So when you go to your car, when you walk, everything, sun is coming. Vitamin D, that is now people all worry about, because vitamin D come all this very into theme because of COVID, and everyone was concerned like, if I don't go out and I don't take enough vitamin D, I mean, you don't have to be worried. You will have vitamin D going out walking. You have just to protect yourself. But that's a big difference, like walking and taking the sun, than walking, sitting and get tan in the sun. That's completely
absolutely
different.
Absolutely. Could you give some advice people who will watch our interview?
Well, first of all, I will tell you that I'm really glad to be part of your team.
Really?
Yeah, really. I was like very happy when you asked me to be part of your warriors, especially because I'm the first Latin and Mexican. And that gives me a sense of closeness with helping people all over around the world. And second thing is like, you have like for me, one of the best products outside there, because some people doesn't have the habit to go to doctors and watch them. So this is like a very useful tool for you in your house. If you're afraid, even people are afraid sometimes to go to the doctor because they're afraid of that diagnosis.
Yes.
So NOTA helps a lot of people like to being aware of something. And I love that it says when it's in red, like you have to go to the doctor. It's like there's no more other way, and you have to do this. So it's been very helpful. There's a lot of apps, but NOTA Mole Tracker for me is like the best item I have found out there for helping people to take awareness of the moles and their skins and being checked monthly. So that's my first advice. You have to check yourself. You have to see even the tiniest little thing that appears in your skin that is new. Normally, old moles, they're difficult that they change, but they can. If you have a mole that you were born with it's difficult, it becomes a melanoma, but it can. So just like be really, really aware of this. And the most important advice, especially for women, that we're more concerned about this aging and looking beautiful and glowing, is wear your sunscreen daily. You can go to the best doctor, have the best plastic surgery, but if you're not wearing your sunblock, nothing that you will do now or in the future, even spending a lot of money in the most exclusive skincare brands, won't help you at all. For me, like the best item, if I knew it before, even though with my scar and the surgeries I had, I have a better skin now than I used to have it before, even though I was way much younger because of the sun. Now that I don't get the sun at all and I wear my sunscreen, my skin is glowing more, is more hydrated, is the quality of my skin is way much better than I used to have it in my 20s or 30s. That is like the age where you have like the most glowing skin before pregnancy, before everything. Now I have better skin than before.
Oh.
So because of the sunscreen, definitely. And the sun, like not taking sun again.
Yes. Thank you for your sharing your story.
Thank you for this, for your time, for this Zoom, and for all the helping you're doing out. And you have a really good product out there, and I'm very happy to be part of your warrior team and still helping people out there.
Thank you so much.
I'll send you a kiss up to Russia. I'm so happy like to talk to you. Thank you.
Yes. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.